Usually when we talk about self-improvement, there's this heavy expectation of isolation, like you're a lone bodybuilder or something.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
We culturally just love that image.
Right. You go to the gym, you put your headphones on, you do your reps, and it's just you in the mirror. And the mirror is like, well, there's your progress.
Yeah, we treat growth as this, solo mountain climb.
Exactly. But when you look at actual thriving ecosystems in nature, literally nothing grows in isolation. That lone mountain climb is actually kind of a myth.
A complete myth, yeah.
Which brings us to our focus for this deep dive. We are unpacking these fascinating notes surrounding a concept called gathering grace.
It's such a great phrase.
It really is. And before we go any further, we need to define what grace actually means in this context for you listening, because we aren't just talking about, being polite.
No, not at all. Grace, practically speaking here, is giving people the unearned space to be messy, to fail, and to grow without judgment. It's basically the exact opposite of a transactional relationship where you're, constantly keeping score.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Community is exhausting.
Oh, absolutely.
People are messy. So how is a shared ecosystem practically better than just, keeping my head down and doing my own work?
Well, because individual willpower always runs out. It just does. If you look at the foundational texts for this concept, like the Message translation of Philippians.
Oh, right. The part about a generous common life.
Exactly. And then the Common English Bible translation of Hebrews emphasizes sparking love and good deeds through gathering together. Gathering is the actual mechanism.
Okay, wait, I get the sparking love idea. It's like striking a match for a campfire, right?
Yeah, good analogy.
But a spark is just a start. How do we actually build the structure to keep that community fire burning when the wind picks up?
So that directly brings us to the 4 strategic pillars of this curriculum. And ironically, it actually starts before you even interact with anyone.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah. Pillar 1 is cultivating the soil, which is basically self-awareness.
Oh, I see the agricultural analogy there.
Right, because you have to do the lonely work first. If you bring, completely unexamined baggage into a group, you're essentially throwing wet wood on that campfire.
Oh, yeah. Wet wood just kills the spark. So you're saying personal growth is the absolute prerequisite to community growth?
Yes, exactly. You have to prepare your own ground before you can properly support anyone else.
Okay, so what happens after we cultivate our soil?
Then you move to pillar 2, which is the art of invitation. This is where you intentionally break isolation to create what they call brave spaces.
Brave spaces.
Yeah, spaces where grace is the primary language spoken.
This feels like a really sharp contrast to traditional networking, because networking is, it's highly transactional. It's all about what you can do for me.
Exactly. It's just exchanging business cards. But creating a brave space is about giving without that immediate expectation of return, which leads right into pillar 3, shared resilience.
Okay, shared resilience, meaning what exactly?
Meaning you decentralize your stress. If you hit a wall or you lose your job, the community absorbs the shockwave, so you aren't carrying the entire weight alone.
Oh, I love that. You grow because of others, not just alongside them.
Right. And then finally, pillar 4 is the collective harvest.
Which is where you actually see the results.
Yes. You're celebrating tangible, observable changes in the people around you, not just staring at your own Jimmy progress anymore.
So how do you actually put this into practice? Because the notes mentioned a few really cool tools to bring this to life.
Yeah, so one of the most effective tools is keeping a grace and growth journal.
Which sounds like tracking the intangible.
It is, yeah. Specifically, there's a prompt asking you to write down who extended grace to you recently and, how it changed your perspective.
So by forcing yourself to articulate it on paper, you're training your brain to actually recognize that shared resilience.
Exactly, instead of just taking it for granted.
There was also another practical step in the notes, intentional inhabitation.
Oh, yeah. That one is huge.
Basically just being fully geographically present in the spaces where we live and work, right?
Yeah. Just inhabiting your local coffee shop or your office break room with actual purpose instead of, just staring down at your phone the whole time.
Which is kind of radical right now, just being fully present in an era of constant distraction.
It sounds so simple, but deciding to be fully present is the absolute prerequisite for noticing who might actually need that invitation to connect. The visual branding they suggested for this is actually warm earth tones and gold, reflecting that organic growth.
Oh, I really like that. It's elegant. So pulling this all together, gathering grace isn't just a nice poetic phrase. It's a really deliberate progression. It starts with self-awareness, moves through intentional connection, and builds this decentralized network of shared resilience.
Right. It's stepping away from that solo gem mirror and realizing your real strength is measured by the ecosystem you help build.
Beautifully said. And, well, the real work begins for you when this deep dive ends.
It always does.
So we want to leave you with this final provocative thought to mull over today. If grace truly is the primary language of a brave space, what specific dialect of grace are you bringing to your community today?
That's a great question.
And who is the very first person you need to invite in?